Now we're resetting up this quarantine tank after it's been dry, because it's been used. Now we've got some water from Majestic Aquariums, which the fish were in. I've got some biological media taken out of the main tank, which I'm going to use for the decoration for the quarantine tank. And I've got some live sand, which I'm going to put on the bottom because the main tank needed more sand. And this live sand is going to be perfect for the quarantine tank. It's going to help buffer the pH, and it is going to give some good bacteria. Now, a quarantine tank is one of the most important things that you can have for a display saltwater aquarium. So all it's simply got is a heater. It's got an air stone. Now with the air stone, you don't want to fill the water up too much, because otherwise the water can get flicked onto the top by the air stone and then make it seem like the actual tank's leaking. But the tank isn't actually leaking, it's just the air stone flicking it up. So this or lower would probably be better. It's also got a filter, and the filter must be agitating the surface. So the water from the filter is getting reoxygenated. And then we're using Marine Pure to decorate this aquarium. And this Marine Pure was actually taken out of the main display tank. So this Marine Pure has lots of good bacteria in it, and this good bacteria will support the fish. So the fish can just swim around in and under all of that. So there's a Valentine's puffer fish, and there's a pair of clownfish in here that will just settle into this tank. Then after they've been here for a month, we can look at transferring them into the main aquarium. So the idea is to run the salinity nice and low to settle the fish into here before we think about putting them in the main tank. That way they can get their immune system back. They can have got rid of their stress, and therefore massively reduce the chance of bringing disease into the main tank. So they'll be here for a month before they get transported to the other tank. So it's really important that you keep a note of when they go in. So even just putting a little video on Facebook saying, here's my new fish, they're in quarantine. That way you can use that as a reference. So it's also really important that your quarantine tank has a thermometer, which you need to know the temperature at all times. Now, the purpose of a light on a quarantine tank is to allow you to observe your fish, see the way they're swimming, see the way they're behaving, and see the way they're eating. But in general, it is less stressful for the fish and will tend to grow less algae if your light is off when you don't need it on. So I would suggest just switching it off if you don't feel like it needs to be on, and that will be a little bit less stressful for the fish, and it will also tend to grow less algae, which tends to be a little bit less stressful for you.